Hello and welcome back to a little bit of this and that, and I'm for some reason putting my face right up in the camera. We are today playing a brand new game. It is called the Murder Mystery Machine. I actually forgot for a split second. So let's get it on screen and I can show you. Okay, that was amazing. Actually, the graphics look fantastic. This is a brand new game in Steam called Murder Mystery Machine. I should know this. I bought it because it actually looked really cool. So the absolute shout out to the developers of this game. Just starting it up makes me excited. It's absolutely brilliant and the graphics look fantastic. So, without further ado, we are reading our first mission from William Merrick, sent Thursday at 17:18 or 18 minutes past 5 if you go by the 12-hour calendar, 12-hour clock. To Cassandra Clark. Cadet Clark, your excellent performance throughout the academy these past 24 months has not gone unnoticed. Is that how long it takes for someone to become a crime scene investigator? I want to say it's a lot longer. You have ranked in the top percentile of graduates, and it is my pleasure to offer you your first position within DC PD. So that's police department at the end. I'm DC, could be Washington DC, I'm not sure. You'll be stationed at the District Crime Agency, working out of Police Plaza as a junior detective alongside Detective Nathaniel Houston. Further details will follow. We have no doubt you'll prove to be a valued asset to the DCPD. Best wishes, Captain William Merrick. So I actually got this game because I thought you were a crime scene tech, but it actually looks like you're the actual detective, which is even better. And again, my question still stands. 24 months? I want to say that police are trained for longer than that. There's a lot that police have to learn, and especially when, like, I know they have ongoing training throughout their job, so I suppose maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know. So, yeah, here we go. Let's get into our first case, shall we? Wow, DCPD looks rather... Left click to move, interact in yourself saying. Okay, so I have to click where I'm going. Okay, that's fine. That's easier. Point and click game. We know we love a point and click game here on this and that. Right. It looks pretty run down though. I'm sure if I actually went to DCPD in Washington in America, it really wouldn't look like this. It would look fantastic. So yeah, so this is interesting. We're going to go over here. This is meant to be Nate. I'm assuming he's the only person with a speech bubble above him. Left click to advance. You must be Detective Nathaniel Houston. I'm Cass. Oh, okay. And you must be lost. No voice acting, but that's fine. That's fine. I will try and do voices for you. You're probably not going to like them, so tough. Cassandra Clark, hi. Hi, I don't usually get visitors down here. I've come from the academy. It didn't work out well with the last intern. Maybe ask someone from upstairs. They didn't tell you? I'm your new partner. I don't need a new partner. I'm sure you don't. It's always good to have another pair of hands though, isn't it? Look, Clarissa, the District Crime Agency isn't where anyone goes to start their career. This is where they bury you. Cassandra, But call me Cass. I was top of my class with degrees in criminology and sociology. Class. How many hours on the job? Geez, do yourself a favour and go back upstairs and tell them they're wasting your time and mine. I'm sorry, my presence bothers you, detective, but I've been hand-picked for this job. Really? Because I just walked in off the street. I didn't come here to cause problems. I came to help. I want to learn everything there is to know. You really need to be here, go, and don't cause problems over there. This isn't kindergarten. I don't have time to hold your hand. Firstly, Nate seems to be a real douchebag. But I can understand he's sort of like down in the basement, relegated to the basement. He does all his own cases, you know, and having someone new on the scene, you've got to look out for one another, and yeah, that can be quite a handful. But Cass is right. Surely you would want someone else just to give you a helping hand, you know? Great, you won't need to. Cass, we got this, Cass. So I've got press AD to rotate the camera and hold WS to zoom. So it's a WSAD game, but you can also use a controller. Which I do have a controller plugged in, but I'm not going to. I'm actually going to be old school and use my WASD. Right, so we can... How cool is that? The walls move. How cool is that? I've not actually seen a game do this. That's amazing. Well done, developers. So now interact with the MMM to access your current case. Oh, so that's the MMM. And this was something in the tiger, wasn't it? Location, Daniel's residence. Click to start investigation. So we're going to go to the residence of Daniel. Daniel's residence, Midtown. I guess this must be Frank Daniels. I don't know if this was meant to be a joke, but like a lot of people here in the UK, one of our sayings is like, and I think it's used like worldwide, but oh, let me be frank. And I just sort of saw this and thought of that. I was like, oh, well played, well played. So Nate, I guess this must be Frank Daniels. It is. I recognise him from the TV. Who called it in? The neighbours said they heard a gunshot around 7:30. Why does Nate all of a sudden sound like he's got a cold? No idea. My mum voted for him in the last local election. You know, he wanted pay rises for cops. Good night, sweet prince. Did they give us anything else to go on? That was it. Oh, that's not Nate's voice. That was it. So how about it? How about what? You wanted to work at the DCA. How about it, partner? Whoever did this wasn't taught to clean up after themselves. There's a lot of potential physical evidence lying around. I've just had a thought. I've been watching a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race the last few days, and I suddenly feel like I sound like one of the queens, like if they had a cold. Yeah, I don't know. Your objective is shown at the bottom of the screen, and at the beginning of each case they can be found again. Complete objectives, or they can be through the episode. All right, so we can this is a click to move game. So I'm guessing if we hover our thing over things, then we can see, like, it'll change. See, we've got a magnifying glass there. We're going to look at the body. So this is Frank Daniels. He's unknown person. Oh, we've got intel and intel. Right, so we're going back to the crime scene. So doesn't show me what we actually found on the body. Should we go here? So we've got Frank Daniels. He had 9mm shell, a bullet wound, and there was blood on the carpet. He was deceased. Okay, let's go over here. So if it's a 9mm bullet, I'm guessing we're looking for a gun, which I can't see. Right, open window. We've got an open window, guys. Open window. So potentially there's blood on the glass. Murderer could have come in through the open window, or left through the open window. See, and we got in the closed window. got on here? We have a bolt. It was bolted shut, so he didn't leave this way. And generally, when things are bolted shut, they're bolted from the inside. So, what? It was closed. My question is, however, why would someone bolt shut one window but not the other? If it's like a really hot day, you're going to want both windows open. So, did the killer bolt one window shut and just leave through the other one? Who knows? Right. Right, I'm going to cut all that out. But, so, welcome back. Basically what you need to do, you can switch between linking mode and organize mode, and you can right click to highlight them and move them around your screen. And then when you're in link mode, you literally press the left click mouse button to link things, which I've linked the blood on carpet and blood on glass because that's what he told me to do. But I would have done anyway. So, okay, so now Nate wants to speak to me. Fantastic. What'd you find? There's blood on the carpet as well as on the broken window. Good work. Later we'll get to the lab to compare the samples, see if they both belong to the victim. You've missed something else, Eagle Eye. I'm getting to it. So we've got... Oh, so we've got 2 new blood samples. Now, the game missed a trick here because... but did they really? That's actually quite a question. Did they miss a trick or did they not? So I'm thinking like a lot of games you could collect the blood, but like I just said, that's in a lot of games. They need to be unique. They need to have their own USP, and not having the games, short games in there, but other games in here, like simple games. Yeah, let's see what they're going to do. I'm actually interested now. Well, I'm interested. Was interested straight away. I'm not interested just now. Collect evidence and submit murder weapon. Okay, there's more evidence found in the crime scene. Letter opener. What have we got on this one? Letter opener. It's okay. Oh, I can't skip for anything. Okay, so we've got a letter opener. But he was shot, so what's... You alright? That got to do with anything? What's that got to do with the price of fish? Yeah. It was okay, well, I wonder... So I don't know what the zooming in and zooming out does. I don't know if maybe this makes the game realise that there's more that you can see. Oh, hello. There's a gun down there. When did that get there? So we're going to collect that evidence. So each scene asks you to answer a series of questions related to the who, what, why, where, when and how of the case. For instance, who is the killer? We don't know that yet. We just know that he was shot. So, fair enough. Why? No idea. Where? In his house. When? Just now, because we just got here, but we don't actually know a specific time. And how? By a gun. So, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to put the 9mm handgun as a what? He was killed. And I have success. I honestly thought that said failure. I was like, oh, I lost. But I did discover I discovered everything in the scene, so that's fine. So what? We don't... How long will it take the lab to check the gun fingerprints? Wherever. And how about testing the blood? The blood on the broken glass probably belongs to our killer. Eternity. So what do we do next? I don't know. If only we had someone who was hand-picked by the Academy to help us. Alright, Nate. Alright. Alright, let's talk to his wife. I'm keen to know where she was when all this was going down. Good idea, Cass. Good idea. Busy at the funeral parlour right now. How about we check out his office then? Thank God Cassandra and her top grades are here to guide us. Lead the way. Anybody else want to punch this dude? Like, I know it's illegal to hurt policemen, and it should be. Because I know some cops are corrupt, but not all of them are, and they are meant to do a good thing. But people like this, like, you just want to go, do you know what? I don't want to be your partner anymore, but I'm going to sit in this office and I'm going to solve all the cases and I'm going to get you sacked. No, don't do that. Don't ever do that. You got to be nice to people. Yeah, anyway. I read all that. Alright, so now I'm guessing... Oh, we've got to go over here to get some coffee. Why not? Coffee in the middle of the day. I've got my water. Alright, I've got to select the information button to view helpful topics at any time. Alright. Welcome back, everybody. You got to love recording and somebody rings you. So, okie dokie. So we are now on scene 1 of 2. No, it's on scene 2 of 2. So what's that then? Scene 1 of 1, scene 1, number 2. Okay, interesting. Interesting way. It probably is right, but it just looks really weird to me. We all know how my brain works. It doesn't. So, Frank Daniels' office. Oh, excuse me. So, these are the corridors of power. Not much to write home about. Oh, only had when... Oh, wow. Let me have a drink. Sorry, everyone. At least it's not a basement. Touché. Right, so this again goes on about the dark detection links. We know all that. Right, so let's talk to this woman. Hi, I'm Detective Clark, and I was told this is where I could find Frank Daniels' secretary, Miss Rubino? Nadine Rapino. What could she sound like? I'm not very good. I'm very voicing actor. This is why I'm not a voice actor. Okay, we'll go with Mrs. Rapino. Hello. I'm sorry, Mrs. Rapino. Please, call me Nadine. Nadine, I'm very sorry for your loss. Thank you. It's just such a shock. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about Frank Daniels? Well, I will say voice actors have the best job because you can just really put, like, the amount of laughs you must have. Of course, whatever I can do to help. So, yes, let's ask about their relationship, if they were all right. How was your relationship with Frank? I've been his secretary for just over 3 years, and as far as the office is concerned, I was across everything. As you can imagine, he was a very busy man. How was your relationship outside of the office? Ooh. Detective, I barely have time to wipe my kids' noses before they go to school, never mind socialise with my boss. Well, that's fair, but I have to ask, you never know. So, let's ask about Frank himself. What was Frank like? What was Frank like as a person? Kind, caring. He was an old-school gentleman, holding doors open for me, you know. He was also a workaholic. Never took a break, never out of the office, meaning I was never out of the office. Okay. We have to ask where Nadine was during the murder, so where were you last night? Am I a suspect? We're just looking to establish who was where and when. I was at home with my husband and the kids. Taco Thursday. That'll be all now for now, thanks. Thank you for your time, Nadine. If you don't mind, we'll continue to look around the office. Of course, if you need anything, just ask. So, the time of death was around 7:30. And she said she was home with family. So we haven't got a who and we haven't got a why yet. So we can come out of that. Okay. Alright. Let's look at the table. What have we got here? A newspaper. Daniels leads in polls in what could be the lightest Uber national race. Is that meant to be Uber national race? We've seen here in a decade. Early polls show Frank Daniels has a favourability rating of 42%, Johnson's 41%, and Herrera's 17%. So he was up 1% in the polls. As many commenters suspect this becomes a two-horse race, many of Herrera's supporters will vote for Daniels. Come January, nobody should be very surprised if Frank Daniels is being sworn in. So if none of you follow politics, then what that means is when you are going to be a president or someone else, you fight for that title. What this is saying is that Daniels was up in the polls. He was the favourite and the third candidate. All of his whole 17% of people that vote for him would then vote for Frank Daniels. So essentially, he had a 18% mark ahead. He was 17% ahead of time in the race, basically. So he had 17% more supporters than Johnson. Daniels has made a name for himself as the people's politician from the beginning. Daniels seems to strive to get the message out there that he wants to govern for everyone, stating the only radical thing he wants to do is make sure people aren't living in poverty. That's actually a really good thing. That's what people should be going through. Should be doing. Should be looking out for the people that are voting them. So he didn't back down on that, which is good. You can't make everyone happy, which he understood, and unfortunately in politics that is correct. You're never going to make everyone happy as much as you want to, but that doesn't mean that you do things that will affect your economy. So ousting a sitting governor with rising approval ratings will no mean feat, but Frank Daniels seemed to be steadily proving his campaign team wrong. So people must have liked the old person, the old mayor or whatever Frank Daniels is running for. So angry about Daniels' views on handguns. Oh, apparently I didn't read that. But we're going to go shot at home because that seems really weird. Okay. Look at the desk. I forget I'm on camera. Just sit here scratching my ears. Week commencing 21st, Monday. He had his meeting. He had tax session. He was paying his taxes. He then met his constituents. They're the people, like he went around and met local people and the people who worked for him in his office that were fighting for him to get the place. More tax proposals, campaign finance calls was between 9 a.m. and 6. But he didn't attend his water treatment ribbon cutting or the black tie dinner at 7 p.m. On Thursday, and he obviously didn't get to his campaign finance calls the following day. So we've got the murder at 7:30, but that means the murderer could have caught up with him earlier. So Frank's schedule could potentially be linked with black ties. These are wrong. This is why they're red, but I'm putting them like that because this is how my brain works. It just shows me that Frank's secretary was home with her family around the time of death. And I've put this because this could possibly be a why as to why he was shot. Okay, so now we're going to head... Oh, Nadine wants to talk to us a bit more. Let's go see what we can find out from her. Nadine, do you mind if I ask you some questions? Of course, whatever I can do to help. In all the time that you worked for Frank, did he have any enemies that you know of? Anyone get out to get him, that sort of thing? No, nothing like that. Certainly no one would want to kill him. But Frank was a politician. He had plenty of people who disagreed with him, and he more than returned the favour. For example, he was no friend to the gun lobby. What was Frank working on? Somehow, in between his work on the Water Commission, his tax policies, the support for free high school lunches, we were running a campaign. I can't believe that's all over now. Thank you for your time, Nadine. If you don't mind, we'll continue to look around the office. Okay, so... See, this has got a question mark, so that means... So, a member of gun lobby, but so... He had views. And obviously members of gun lobbies didn't like that. That's interesting. Okay. I'm probably doing this all wrong, but let's just switch the room round a minute just to make sure we've got... what's this? Just make sure we've got all the evidence. Campaign photo. Okay, the campaign photo, but I don't know what that would do. Let's walk up the back here. Nothing there. Seems to be a family photo. Frank's schedule. Oh. Nadine wants probably to talk about the campaign photo. Actually, that's a good idea. Nadine, do you mind if I ask you some questions? Of course, whatever I can do to help. That picture over there, is that who I think it is? Yes, that's Governor Johnson. He worked closely with Frank. It looks very friendly. How was their relationship? Detective, that photo is an exercise in public relations. Frank opposed a lot of what Governor Johnson was proposing for the city, so they weren't exactly friends. I'd often hear Frank getting heated on calls with the governor, but Frank had a tendency to get heated on most calls. When you've worked in politics as long as I have, you learn that it's all part of the process. People with egos, all thinking they know best. Thank you for your time, Nadine. If you don't mind, we'll continue to look around the office. But we don't need to look around the office because I think we've picked everything up. So let's look, go talk to Nate. Tapping out already. You said the shooting took place around 7:30, right? That's right, what the neighbours said, yeah. There's an event in Daniel's schedule starting at 7 last night. That means he didn't go to the event. I wonder why not. Good find. Keep at it. I'm not done just yet. I need a bit more time. So I think we actually need to sort these out. So Daniel's rival. A campaign photo? No. I'm just making different connections now, but I don't think any of this is right. Okay, let's go back to Nadine, mainly because it's a beach bubble. We're going to ask her some more questions. Okay. You had Frank marked down for an event last night, around the time of his death. It was the opening of the new water treatment plant. It's a big deal, lots of jobs. Everyone was expecting Frank there, the press, his opponents. It had been arranged for 2 weeks before. He was shot at home when he was supposed to be at the event. Did you know he wasn't going to show? Yes, when he left the office around 6, he told me he changed his mind about the event and was going to stay home. He said he didn't like the optics, being seen, applauding and incumbent in the middle of a campaign. Did that sound believable to you? I said it myself 3 weeks ago, but it was smart of Frank to do it last minute. You know, have people asking some questions about why Frank Daniels changed his mind about attending instead of just letting the governor pat himself on the back. Frank always had good instincts about how to steer the narrative. Did anyone else know Frank would be at home? I wasn't to answer questions from the press till after the event, and I didn't tell anyone else. Fair enough. Thank you for your time, Nadine. If you don't mind, we'll continue to look around the office. So he didn't actually go to the event. Can I? Oh look, you can. It's just starting to look messy now. Right, so Daniel's rival was Governor Johnson. Okay. Seemed like Daniel was creeping ahead in the polls and given all were privately relieved. Are you saying Daniel's murder was politically motivated? What? No, I just... Who benefits the most from this? I thought about it. Reaching Houston. It was not taken out of the cake in hell. Johnson arranged hit on Daniels, politically motivated. I feel like this is a thing. Member of gun thing. We can put that as a Y. I'm guessing we can put Governor Johnson then as a who. Yeah, I do, but I don't think it is. Like, okay, let's go talk to Nadine. Like, I don't see... What do you know about Frank's home life? It was just him and his wife. He wasn't one to talk to private life very much. Frank worked a lot. Believe me, those late nights in the office could put a strain on a marriage. Define strain. More often than not, I was making an awkward call to Mrs. Daniels, explaining that Frank wouldn't be home for dinner. How did Mrs. Daniels seem? Sometimes angry, like hold the phone away from my ear angry. It didn't seem like they were very happy, but I think she worried about him. She was always calling, asking where he was and when he'd be home. That to me says she thought they were having an affair. Told no one else was home, wife always asking where he was. Okay. Nadine, do you mind if I ask you some questions? Are you sure it was only you who knew where Frank was? If his wife was always calling asking where he was he? Right, actually, when Rosemary did call asking when Frank would be home, at some time before 7 last night, I told her I didn't know and think she'd have to call Frank at home. And that she'd have to call Frank at home. Was she not already home? I guess it's lucky that Rosemary wasn't at home last night too. Okay. Apart from Miss Rapone, the only person who knew Frank was home with his wife, Rosemary Daniels, and unhappy marriage is good reason as any to murder someone. Ouch, I don't ask what makes you say that. Nice work, though. Let's wrap up here and get back to the station. I still feel like there's a lot missing, but this part of a murder investigation, I would imagine, that would be the case. No, I don't want to make that submission. I want to go back. Okay, so how do we get quick crime scene? Okay, and then we want to go to this thing. No. Go back to the crime scene. Yeah, we just done all this. Okay. Be right back. Okay, so here's even that intense. I don't know why, I just got really confused. So, Cass, I'll look into Rapinoe's alibi. You don't believe her? It's not really what I believe now, is it? Objectively, will only get you so far, Cassandra. You're going to need to listen to your gut eventually. Cass, I may trust my gut, but I'm not sure a judge would. I mean, look at it. There's no time to worry about Nadine Rapinoe right now, for the Lady Daniels have returned. Rosemary Daniels is back? We can question her at home. Okay. Sherlock Holmes would be very disappointed with me. So, alright, let's go to home of, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it here. Thank you very much for joining us. So this is the new game. This will be going up on the channel whether you watch it or not. Don't really care. Well, I do. I want you to watch it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. We'd love to have you a part of our community. We want to keep growing our community. And yeah, I will see you in the next video, or Trin will see you in the next video. And we hope you're safe, we hope you're well, and have a great day. Bye.